Crusaders. My name is Jackson Cram. Today I am joined by Jaden. Jaden, I'm blanking on your last name today. We've had too crazy of a day. But Jaden, how are we feeling about today's game?
I'm excited, really excited. Lehigh's had a really good season. 11-7 in Patriot League play. They've won a lot of close games. All wins in the Patriot League have been by 10 points or less. They're going up against Holy Cross, who finished number 10, but they were able to beat Lafayette the other day to move into this matchup with number 2 Lehigh. The team split the regular season series 1-1, with Lehigh winning here and Holy Cross winning at their home court. Spread is not that far apart for a 2 versus 10, only 5.5 point spread. As you guys know, it's been a crazy season for Lehigh, a lot of comeback and close wins, and it's been a lot of fun watching this team over the course of the year. So I'm expecting a close game tonight. Whitlock's had a great year, same with Alvey. I'll look for those guys to lead the scoring punch as we have tip-off right now. Here we go.
And Lehigh control the tip. Nasir Whitlock bringing it down, courtesy of Hank Alvey's tip. It'll hand it off immediately to Vasquez, who finds Benoit on the elbow. As Alvey swings it around to Ingram. A little bit of a clear outside. Tries to get down to Benoit on the post. He falls down. Not sure he didn't step out of bounds there, but it stays alive. Ingram reverses to Vasquez. He'll have a straightaway three. No good. Rebound slapped away by Benoit, but controlled by Holy Cross. Now here come the Crusaders. Right into their offensive action, pushing the tempo. Now they'll reset, though. This is Tyler Boston, one of Holy Cross's leading playmakers and scorers on the team, controlling the ball at the top of the key. They'll swing it around, find Boston back near midcourt. Pick and roll does not work. Now a drive into the lane by DeAndre Williams. His shot contested well by Whitlock, no good. Now here comes the Mount Hawks leading scorer, Nasir Whitlock, having a fantastic season. He'll take a pick and roll, gets the switch. Ingram down to Alvey in the post, and that's steak and potatoes for Alvey. No real contestation there. Now the Crusaders bring it back down the court. Here's Boston again at the logo. He rejects the screen, now swings it out to Williams. Williams jab step, drives on Whitlock, no good. Swings it back to the top of the key. Now here's Boston again. On the elbow, he'll drive into the lane, gets to the free throw, picks up his dribble, kicks it back out. Boston now takes a straightaway three. No good. Good defense by Lehigh, and Benoit gets the rebound. Here's Jalen Vasquez. He'll find Alvey into the post immediately, and Alvey goes up right away. And again, another 2 points for Hank Alvey. Now the Crusaders are still looking for their first basket of the game, nearly 2 minutes into play. DeAndre Williams on the elbow. He feeds it down into the post to Gabe Warren, who had a terrific game against Loft the other night. He kicks it back out. Good extra pass, and for three, no good. That was Aiden Richard with a shot. His corner three, no good, and the Crusaders are still scoreless. Whitlock will again immediately give it to Alvey in the post. He's got a mismatch with Aiden Disu on him. They'll reverse it around. Here's Vasquez. He drives into the lane. Good shot, good basket. Lehigh leads 6-0 on 3 of 4 shooting. Now Holy Cross still working for their first basket as Boston will call it a set. A little bit of a swing around drill, and trying to give it to Boston on the DHO. Does not work. He has to take it with Whitlock in his face. Another rejected screen. Here's Disu on Alvey. Drives into the lane, picks up his dribble. A lot of contact there, but no call. And it remains 6-0 Lehigh. Here's Josh Ingram now, the junior. It's been a great improvement on his year. Alvey immediately down low into the post. And when it's that low, it's just too easy for him. It's 8-0 Lehigh. 6 of those points coming from Hank Alvey. 3 minutes gone in today's quarterfinal matchup. Holy Cross still looking for their first basket. Boston gets a screen from Diso. Thinks about the three, now reverses course. This is Aiden Richard. Now Disu. Here's Williams driving into the lane. Fadeaway, tough shot, and it goes. So Holy Cross finally gets his first basket, courtesy of the junior DeAndre Williams. And now Vasquez will bring it up with Boston guarding him. A little bit of horns action here as we get to Whitlock. And now Whitlock trying to get it to Alvey in the post, but unable to do so, so Benoit will take it top of the key. Alvey reposts, Holy Cross shading a double immediately, but they do get it to Alvey. currently one-on-one with Disu. Now the double comes, and Alvey turns it over, trying to find Benoit. Now Boston on the fast break. Boston right into Benoit's arms, and the foul gets the basket. And just like that, it's 8-4 with Boston with a chance to cut the deficit by one more. Jaden, it's been a chaotic first few minutes. What are you seeing so far?
It has been. That was a great take by Boston right there. Very strong finish. I've seen Lehigh really trying to get it to Hank Alvey in the post. He's got a big size advantage. They see that. Definitely a game plan coming in, it looks like. And he's been really good. Much needed last 4 to 5 points if he makes a free throw for Holy Cross, though, after the 8-0 start by Lehigh.
And we immediately see Disu check out of the game for Declan Ryan, who's a 6'8" forward. I would think that's to guard Hank Alvey, and he's matching it up. And as Jaden said, Boston does hit the free throw, so now it is 8-5. Lehigh doesn't make any subs. Now Benoit, we haven't seen much of him in the first 4 minutes. Gets it to Alvey all the way at the top of the key. A little dribble handoff for Nasir Whitlock, who immediately takes it off the bounce. And a floater just a little too off, but a good opening shot for Lehigh's point guard. But now a one-possession game, the Crusaders driving into the lane. It's a tough free throw line jumper by Gabe Ward that doesn't go. Vasquez immediately races Lehigh down the court, getting to Alvey quick before Holy Cross can shut up. Boston shades and now does double Alvey. Can he find his way out? He finds Whitlock on the other side, immediately puts up the three, and it's good! Nasir Whitlock, recently named to the first team All-Patriot League. It's his first basket of the game to make it 11-5 for the Mountain Hawks. Boston now at the top of the key, rejects the screen, finds Ryan, and he misses. It's Austin Ryan missing the easy basket there. Ingram now braces up the court and again finds Alvey early deep into the post. Holy Cross now brings the double. Good pass out by Alvey. Whitlock again with a three. And again, it's good! And that's what the crowd exactly wanted to hear and see today. Back-to-back kickouts by Alvey to Whitlock for easy three-pointers. It's 14-5. Boston once again calling out the set for Holy Cross, trying to set something up. Here comes Ryan with the screen. Boston now gets the switch on the Alvey. He gives it up to Williams. Gives it to Ryan deep in the post. Everyone comes to guard from Lehigh, and that's an corner three. Holy Cross misses, but Ryan gets the rebound. Here's Williams, swings it over to Boston. On Whitlock, best on best right here. Kick back out to Williams, open three, rims out. And we had contested rebound, but it goes out of bounds, and it's Lehigh's basketball. Current score is 14-5 with 14:23 left in the first half. We're gonna take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Stabler Arena here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Jaden, what have you seen in the first 5 minutes or so of this game?
Well, Lehigh's offense looks great. They're trying to get it into Alvey every single time down, and he scored 6 quick points, and recently they've doubled him in the post, and he's kicked it to Whitlock for 2 open threes, and he's been so great this year. You know, we both knew they were going down. So look for them to continue to work it to Alvi, although I'm looking at their lineup, it looks like he's out right now.
Yeah, Alvi is checked out of the game for Alfredo Adessa, the 6'10 sophomore. So a little bit of a rest for Alvi, but I got to expect they'll still be trying to get into the post. Here's Edward Benoit, having a little bit of a slump lately. He finds Adessa fresh into the game. Vasquez gets the dribble handoff, now finds Whitlock on a handoff of his own, gets into the lane, easy push shot, and he gives it off right. Good look there for Lehigh out of the timeout, but Whitlock unable to capitalize. Holy Cross will come the other way. Here's Gabe Warren on the elbow. He swings it over to a new checking into the game, John St. Germain the third. Finding St. Germain down below the basket. That's a lapse in defensive judgment. Vasquez totally lost his man, and that's an easy 2 for Holy Cross. It's interesting watching Lehigh play with Whitlock being the leading scorer, but Vasquez brings the ball up the court, kind of acting as that de facto point guard for Whitlock as the more scoring guard. And here we see Vasquez again, running the pick and roll game. Now we get to Adessa down the post, right back out to Ingram. He'll launch a 3. Just a little bit long, and Holy Cross secures the rebound. Here comes Boston streaking down the court, trying to get into the set early. He jacks up a 3 over Whitlock, and that one's long as well. Vasquez corrals the rebound, and he finds Ingram on the elbow. Gets a screen from Adessa. He gets into the lane now, Ingram, but he loses possession, just straight ripped out of his hand by St. Germain, who brings up the ball himself. Here's Disa, Adam Disa, the starter who came out briefly before that timeout, working on Benoit. He kicks it out. Here's Ryan, a straightaway 3, and that one's a little short. Rebound controlled by Benoit. Now Whitlock will bring it up. Whitlock is being guarded by Gabe Warren, who's got a good 5 inches on him out there. Got to imagine that is any kind of way to limit Whitlock's offensive production. But now we see Benoit down in the post. Unable to make real progress. He gets it right back from Vasquez. Benoit spinning, steps through, and that's a tough bucket for the sophomore hailing from Canada, bringing a little bit of the Canadian flair out there with his post moves. Now Boston controlling the tempo again for Holy Cross as the lead has grown to 9 for the Mount Hawks. He kicks it over to Adisa. Disa rises up with a fadeaway, and a nice silky smooth shot from Holy Cross's forward there. Cuts the lead down to 7 for the Mount Hawks with about 12 minutes to go in this first half. Whitlock getting the double screen action, choosing Adisa. He'll drive into the lane, gets deep, a lot of contact, no foul. He misses, but there's Adisa in for the rebound putback. So the shot does not go for Whitlock, but Lehigh still gets the bucket there. And Holy Cross will once again trail by 9. Here's Boston, step back, thinks about the 3, doesn't take it. A lot of contact there, dumps it off. Great extra pass there from Holy Cross, and that's an easy basket for Declan Ryan. That was St. Germain getting his man off of his feet, and a little dump-off pass to Ryan for the easy 2. Whitlock will now bring it up. Again, guarded by Gabe Warren. Again, gets a screen. This time kicks to Benoit. Gives it right back to Whitlock. Another pick and roll action here, double screen actually. Whitlock dancing around on Disa, his man. He'll take a step back 3, and a little short that time. One of those shots Whitlock loves to take, and you can't blame him for the results this year. Now here's Boston getting right into the lane on Josh Ingram. That's poked away though, so a good deflection there by Ingram. They've got a mismatch in the post if they want it. Currently, Warren rises up for the shot. It looked like Adisa might have gotten ball there, but the refs will call a foul, and that will send Holy Cross to the line for 2. We're going to take a quick break for this under 12 timeout, and we'll be right back. back to Stabler Arena. Today we are at the men's Patriot League quarterfinal match between Lehigh and Holy Cross. Jaden, we were just talking about Hank Albee. What do you see out there from the big man?
Yeah, when he played the first 5 or so minutes, he was awesome. I mean, he had a couple nice post moves, a couple nice post shots, a couple really nice passes out of double teams to set Whitlock up, and now he's coming back into the game, luckily, and he was dominating. So look for him to do more of the same. But Holy Cross has stepped it up a little bit, especially when Albee came out of the game. Saint Germain had some really good, I thought, possessions. He made a nice pass, had a nice little cut and a layup, and some good defense too. So good start for him.
Not only Hank Albee coming into the game for Lehigh, but Andrew Urasevich, the first-year guard, coming in for the first time today for the Mount Hawks. So it's Whitlock, Ingram, Urasevich, Albee, and, Jake Pike also checking. Not Jake Pike, Peter Kramer also checking into the game for the Mount Hawks. So 2 new additions into this game, as Holy Cross will also make a substitution of their own as Gabe Warren checks out for the first time and Aiden Richard checks back into the game. So Lehigh leading 18-13 after Warren nails both free throws. A little under 11 minutes to go here. Whitlock being hounded by Williams as he brings it up the court. They'll look to get it to Kramer straight away. Little motion here for Ingram. Now Whitlock got some isolation in the left corner. Elbow. Looking to get to Albee in the post, but good defense from Holy Cross. Whitlock will go up and under, and just a little too strong on the roll there. Albee couldn't get to the rebound, and now Holy Cross will look to cut the lead to single digits. Single possession. Here's Ryan, top of the key. Looking to get it to Adisa. Now he gives it up to Williams. Takes the pick and roll there. He'll rise up from the free throw line, and that's a little off. Rebound batted around, but controlled by Urasevich. Now Whitlock will bring it up, slowing down the pace a little bit here. We've seen Holy Cross really try to push the tempo. They'll get a screen there by Albee. Now Whitlock will take Williams off the bounce, and again, just a little too strong, but that time a foul is called on Williams, and Whitlock will head to the line.
Yeah, Whitlock's definitely hunting his shot early. Not all of them have gone, but he is being very aggressive. He's had good looks. I don't know how that last up and under missed. I got to tell you, I thought that was definitely good. Somehow it came off. 2 free throws for him now. He is a pretty good free throw shooter, so I expect these to go down. Wow.
And the commentator scores strikes just as you thought it would.
Guys. Oh, my God.
Whitlock misses the first one. This year, Whitlock's been not maybe a revelation for Lehigh, but certainly a rising star and perhaps a performance better this year than we could have imagined.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's doubled his points per game from last year. He averages 20.8 a game this year, about 10.5 last year. And we were talking before the game about his efficiency. That's what's really impressed us. Over 43% from 3 and about 48% from the field overall.
Whitlock's certainly been outstanding this year, as evidenced by his recognition in the first team All-Patriot League. But Holy Cross will get into their set here, and here's Ryan deep in, and he misses short on the hook shot. Now Whitlock will bring it up the court. Benoit has checked back in the game. There's a screen from Albee, and there's Benoit catching it from the pass from Whitlock. He'll bring it into the post. Fake, turn, spin, and now step through, and just a little too strong. Good patience there by Benoit, but couldn't get the roll. A little unfinished business. Now here's Saint Germain, guarded by Urasevich. Saint Germain reverses course. Now here's Ryan, top of the key, swings it out to Williams, guarded by Whitlock. He tries to take Whitlock baseline, doesn't go. Now he'll curl into the middle, rises up. Just a little short there, but good rebound there by Whitlock, who stands all about 6'1 or 6'2, depending on who you ask. When he turns it over, Williams just able to save it. Albee will let it run out, and it'll be Lehigh ball with 22 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, good defense there by Whitlock, as you mentioned, and a really good rebound, too. He's listed at 6'2", but I'm not sure if he's all of that. But definitely a good hustle there.
Maybe if you count the hair, he's 6'2".
Yeah.
And here is Lehigh's lead guard, Nasir Whitlock, bringing it up the court. Tries to find Benoit and does. Now Kramer, top of the key. Finds Whitlock in the corner. Again, clearly trying to get it to Albee. Oh, and Whitlock tries to throw from corner to corner, and it is picked off by Gabe Warren, who brings it right to the rim. And his shot is short, and a late whistle believe on Peter Kramer for a foul. Referee's indicating just a little shove there.
Yeah, Warren's been aggressive so far, and their last meeting when Holy Cross actually beat Lehigh, Warren had 10 free throw attempts and he made 9 of them. And he was their leading scorer. He had 20 points. Also, as my partner mentioned, he had a big game against Lafayette to get him here. So he's been aggressive coming forward, and really good defense, too, on the other end by him.
Warren's first shot is good. Now, Jaden, maybe this wasn't the matchup Lehigh was expecting. I mean, Lafayette was the higher seed, and I think everyone wanted to see another matchup of the rivalry, no?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. But Holy Cross earned it. They went on the road. They played a really good game. They had a couple big performances, as we were talking about. Tyler Boston had 17, 14, and 9. 17 points, 14 assists, 9 rebounds. And Warren led them in points with 23. So credit to them as he misses the second.
And he does miss the second. I also want to point out Tyler Boston's all of 6'0", and he got 9 rebounds against Lafayette. Just a will to win.
Impressive stuff.
Now Lehigh will look to get a little bit out of offensive funk here. Miss their last 2 shots. Finds Ingram. Whitlock out of the game for the first time today, so we'll see who runs the offense. There's Vasquez, who will give it back to Adisa down in the post. To be Adesa, and he loses it, and the refs, before Holy Cross fully possesses it, they call a jump ball tie-up, and the possession arrow favors Holy Cross. So another empty possession for the Mount Hawks. Last possession was a turnover by Whitlock, and the score has become 19-14. So the lead is trimmed for the Mount Hawks, as for the first time today, we see Henry Adiasa check in.
Yeah, no Whitlock, no Alvey. So it'll be interesting to see where the offense comes from here.
Do have some good shooters out there in Jurasevich, Benoit, and Ingram, but certainly need a little spark on the offensive end. Here's Warren. St. Germain tries to find Warren down low. Good defense there by Benoit to cut off the pass. A little too lackadaisical by St. Germain, and now here's Benoit on the offensive end. Ingram looks like he might be running the offense with Whitlock out of the field right now. Ingram will drive down to the lane, doubled, almost loses possession there. Fades away on St. Germain, and it is a little short. Not the most high percentage shot, as we see bodies go to the floor as Adiasa scrambles for the rebound. He can't get it. Now here comes Boston, running straight at Vasquez. He kicks out to Aiden Richard. His three-pointer, no good, bounces off the rim and the backboard. Now here's Vasquez. He'll bring it up the court. Now Jurasevich gets the screen from Adiasa. Free throw line jumper, a little off to the left, and Lehigh's field goal drought continues. Warren will race it up the court. You can clearly see 2 contrasting speeds of play. He runs right into Benoit, and the referees are going to call a blocking foul. Looked like a little bit of a late whistle there again, but that should be 2 shots for Holy Cross. When we come back, score is 19-14. Don't move away. You wouldn't want to miss this. Welcome back to Stabler Arena with 7 minutes exactly to go in this first half. Lehigh leads Holy Cross 19-14 in this men's basketball Patriot League quarterfinal. Jaden, we were talking about Lehigh's offensive woes in the last few minutes. What are you seeing out there?
Hasn't looked great, to be honest. Not many great shot attempts. I think Holy Cross is getting a lot better looks. They've had a lot of open threes. They're attacking the basket. Warren's at the free throw line again. It's going to be his 5th and 6th attempts. So I don't love what's going on right now. Just a few bad possessions. Whitlock is back in the game, and so is Alvey. So I think the shot selection should improve. And I want to see him work it back into Alvey. They were doing it to start the game. We scored 14 points in the first 4.5 minutes, and we've only had 5 since, with 7 minutes left in the first quarter now. So hopefully Lehigh will get it back into Alvey to set up everyone else.
Yeah, Lehigh has all their starters in except for Peter Kramer instead of Edouard Benoit, as Warren goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it is only a 3-point game now. Lead has been as large as 9 for the Mountain Hawks. So Vasquez will bring it across the timeline. Here's Alvey, DHO to Ingram. Kramer reverses to Vasquez. Now they're trying to get Alvey. He had a good post setup, but Vasquez loses control of the basketball, and now Holy Cross races it down. Here's Disa right into the lane. Alvey got a contact, but no call. Holy Cross's bench doesn't like that one. Here's Whitlock now, defended by St. Germain. He steps back. Now Kramer looking to get Alvey in the post. Gets there, deflected on its way through. Alvey guarded by 2, now 3. Finds the open Vasquez in the corner. His three-pointer just a little bit short and no good. So finally getting back to Alvey in the post and an open look, but it doesn't go for the Mountain Hawks. Now here's Boston, guarded by Vasquez, who goes under the screen and stays with him. Warren loses control for a moment, now resets. Gabe Warren driving into the lane. Good poke away by Ingram. He's a terrific 3-and-D guy, and here comes Vasquez straight to the rim, and that's an easy 2. So Lehigh finally ends its field goal drought after about 5 minutes with a breakaway layup for Vasquez. Now Boston for Holy Cross. Screen from Disa. He'll launch a 3 on the pick and pop, and his shot's a little to the right. Alvey with a dangerous contest there, but no harm, no foul. Whitlock will now immediately talk Richard. Now gets it to Alvey in the post, working on Disa. This was a good matchup for Mount Hawks early in the game, but Alvey had picked up his dribble, and so he finds Whitlock back, who drives into the lane, and his shot is rejected by Disa there. Just no chance there.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, great defense there by Holy Cross. I liked what Lehigh did on the previous possession. They got it into Alvey. Vasquez had a wide open look, just didn't go down. And then really good defense by Ingram. He's had a couple steals so far. And that was big because it was 3, and then the steal and score by Vasquez put it up to 5. So definitely a big sequence there.
And now here's Vasquez on the inbound, and he finds Ingram right open in the corner, and that's an easy 3-pointer for Lehigh's premier 3-and-D man, Joshua Ingram. That lead that was 3 and then 5 is now 8 for the Mountain Hawks. Now St. Germain with Whitlock on him. He'll find Ryan. Now here's Boston working on Alvey. He'll drive straight to the lane, kick out to Warren. Ingram on him. St. Germain top of the key. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. St. Germain driving through the hole with Whitlock on him. And in the finish, there were a lot of contact. No foul. Refs have been letting them play. And now here's Whitlock. Guarded by Richard. Thought about the 3. Doesn't take it. And that's going to be a foul called on Ryan for holding Alvey. They've been having some deep battles down in the post, and that's the first time we've gotten off the ball foul called.
Yeah, Alvey's doing good things down there. That was a great inbound play. Ingram was wide open, really nice shot. And then I've liked what I've seen from St. Germain. He's been really good. This, as he gets taken out of the game, he had a really nice take here. That was a crazy good finish, and he's been good defensively as well.
You see another inbound. This time they just give it to Alvey. He had Vasquez wide open under the basket. Didn't see him, though. So now Alvey with Ryan on him in the high post. Jab step, now drives in on him. Here comes the double from Boston. He finds Ingram in the corner for 3, and that one's just off. Another good look from the Mountain Hawks out of the doubling of Alvey. Seems to be a consistent game plan. Now here's Ryan. He'll dribble off, gives it off to Warren. Thinks about the 3. With Whitlock on him now, he'll post him up. Definitely a size mismatch here. Ingram comes for the double. Here's Boston in the corner for 3, and that one's good. So So that three-pointer by Boston cuts the lead down to 3. It's currently 24-21 with Lehigh in front with 4 minutes to go in this first half, which is blown by here. Whitlock with Richard on him. Screen from Albee. He gets into the lane. Looked like he had Vasquez open, but he'll instead give it to Ingram. Wide open three-pointer, and that one is nothing but nylon. And so Lehigh and Holy Cross goes three-pointer for three-pointer, and the lead is once again 6. Holy Cross's point guard Boston calling out the plays here. Here's Ryan, guarded by Albee. Now Warren. Deliberative action here, gets into the lane right into Albee, and he leaves it short. I don't think there was a block there. I think he just misjudged that one, Warren did. Now here's Whitlock. He finds Ingram straight away right into the hole, and that one's rejected by Warren right back onto Ingram's face, and we have a battle for a ball, and we have a foul called.
Yeah, it's going to be on Holy Cross, I think.
Looks like it to me.
Boston very upset.
Yeah, they're a little too aggressive there, grappling for the basketball. 3:14 left to go in this first half. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. Welcome back to Stabler Arena. This is the Lehigh Student Sports Broadcasting Club, broadcasting the quarterfinal men's basketball matchup between Lehigh and Holy Cross. Jaden, we've got about 3 minutes to go in the first half. How do the Mountain Hawks close this half outright?
Yeah, I think just keep working it into the big guy. Albee's been really good on both ends, and just keep firing open three-point looks. Ingram's knocked down a couple. Whitlock had a couple early, and I've liked the looks that Lehigh has gotten the last couple minutes. As they take Albee out of the game. So scratch that first thing I said. But let's see if they have a good inbounds play here. They had a really good one last time that set Ingram up for a wide open corner three. So look for some action here. Maybe Whitlock coming around a screen, cutting. I don't know. We'll see.
Now we have Vasquez inbounding again for the Mountain Hawks. And they do try to get to Whitlock off the screen. Immediately jump shot from the baseline, just a little bit too long. And rebound controlled by Boston. That was a good look for the Mountain Hawks. And now we see Holy Cross. Boston calling out where he wants Ryan, gets the screen, cuts back and forth, slingshots right into Whitlock.
Offensive foul.
And they're going to call an offensive foul there.
Yeah, Whitlock took the charge there. Boston was very out of control. And yeah, they gave Whitlock the charge. Albee's coming back in for some offense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Boston was just too out of control there. I'm not even sure Whitlock was totally set, but Boston just kind of barreled into him. And we have all of Lehigh's starters out there, minus Benoit, who's replaced by Peter Kramer. But a chance here for the Mountain Hawks to grow the lead. Currently lead by 6 points. A little under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Here's Kramer. Tries to find it. Ingram tries to feed it down low to Albee. Gets swatted away. Now here's Vasquez in the corner. Gets it to Albee. He's got a height mismatch on Disa. Can he find the cutting Ingram? He can! And Joshua Ingram throws it down in front of the student section. And the students here, they love it. I think this is the most packed I've ever seen a men's basketball student section. And that's saying something. So now here's St. Germain looking to cut the deficit, takes a free throw line jumper,
Oh.
and not only does he get the shot to fall, Alvey was a little off control in his contest, and that's going to be an and-one opportunity for Holy Cross.
Yeah, he just kind of ran into him at the end. Great play on the other end, though. Great cut by Ingram. Alvey with another assist. I think that's his third. He's also had a couple like pass to assists, so he's created a lot of offense. But hey, look at this, Saint Germain, another made shot, making a real impact for Holy Cross. I'm not sure where they'd be without him today.
You know, Saint Germain, he's listed as only 6'1", but he plays a lot bigger than his height. He's a little bit bulkier, and I think that's been causing Lehigh's problems on the defensive end because they're just not able to physically contend with him. They're smaller guards, Whitlock, Vasquez, Ingram. They're a little bit more of slighter, slimmer kind of guys.
I agree with that assessment. He's also been really good defensively, too, as he's picking up Vasquez full court.
Yeah, definitely taking Lehigh a bit to get into their offensive sets. But here's Alvey. Swings it over to Vasquez. Now gets to Alvey in the post. They look to this a lot. Alvey's shot just a little to the right. It's the look you're looking for if you're Lehigh. Single coverage for Alvey. Now here's Warren. Almost stolen by Ingram, but it's kept alive. And now almost stolen again by Vasquez. And they're going to call a foul against Holy Cross. So great defensive effort there, first by Ingram and then by Vasquez to get deflections, and Holy Cross forced a foul to prevent the breakaway opportunity. They're not going to call a clear path foul here because Lehigh didn't have possession, but a good defensive job by the Mountain Hawks there. We're a little under 2 minutes to go. Lehigh leads 29-24. Vasquez will inbound from the left-hand side. Whitlock gets it about half court. Gets a screen from Alvey and another one from Ingram. Whitlock getting down to the lane, and the ball's ripped away from him by Saint Germain. Another good play by the sub. Now here's Disa, straight at Ingram, and that's going to be a foul on Joshua Ingram. So 2 shots for Disa for Holy Cross. And that score is 29-24 right now. That could be cut down to just 3 points. So a little hazardous with the ball for both teams there, Jade.
Yeah, Lehigh was very active in the passing lane on the previous Holy Cross possession, and then really good help defense by Saint Germain. He led the break, go-ahead pass, and he set up these free throw attempts. So I've been impressed by the defense from both sides. I think both teams are playing really good defense. They're just very active in the passing lanes, good help defense for the most part, and it's been kind of a defensive battle so far.
And Disa nails both of his free throws. I mean, I think you see that in conference tournaments where, you know, just the defenses tighten up a little bit more, players tighten up a little bit more. It becomes harder to get easy looks on the offensive end. But Lehigh could really finish the half strong here with about 1:30 to go. Here's Alvey into the post, gets down deep, fades away a little bit, and his shot is off. So Alvey started the game off hot, but it's gone cold a little bit. Now here's Warren as Holy Cross can tie the game here with a 3-pointer or cut the lead down to 1 with a 2. Here's Ryan doubled in the post, somehow stays in bounds, swings it all the way over. Oh, looking for Disa, and it sails where we are supposed to be sitting. And now we see the announcer go down.
He's getting helped up by the ref here.
And he seems okay, just a little overzealous to get the basketball back.
All right, he gave the thumbs up.
Gave the thumbs up, and the show must go on. A true pro down there. But yeah, we're not at our usual courtside sideline seats. We are a little bit more up in the air where nobody is sitting.
Yep.
Bird's eye view. That's how it was pitched to us. Now here's Whitlock going into the lane. Kicks it out to Jurasevich. Hasn't got a lot of run today as Jurasevich tries to get a Whitlock, and it's deflected. Finally touched by Whitlock, and that's another turnover for the Mountain Hawks, so another empty possession. Not the way you'd want to end the half if you're Lehigh.
That pass should have never been made. Whitlock wasn't open at all. Too tough a catch there. And yeah, Holy Cross is going to have a chance here to tie the game.
Holy Cross has a 2-for-1 opportunity if they want to take it. They're taking their time with the offensive end, though. And another great deflection by Ingram. Just see that time and again. So Ingram now pushed the tempo, gets right into the lane, rises up, and gets the foul called on Aiden Richard, which will send Ingram to the line for 2 with 30 seconds or so left in this first half.
I've been so impressed by Ingram so far in this first half. I mean, his defense has been awesome. I think that's his 3rd steal. if I'm counting correctly, and he's had numerous other deflections. And if it wasn't for his defense, I think the score would be a bit different because he's just disrupted a lot of Holy Cross possessions as he nails that free throw. Also, obviously, he's made a couple threes. Good attack to the basket there, and he's been really good for Lehigh so far today.
You know, I remember watching Josh Ingram play back in my and his freshman year, and you could just see the 3-and-D potential there, even if his shot wasn't always consistent. And you've seen him mature and grow into that kind of player who you just love to have on your team. So Holy Cross will race across the timeline and take a timeout to set things up for the final shot of the half. Jaden, as we look into the second half coming up in just a few minutes there, what do you see that Lehigh needs to change, keep doing, augment to try to get the win today?
I think they got to try to limit the turnovers a little bit. The beginning of the game, the offense was really good, as we've mentioned, and since then it's looked a bit sloppy. A few too many turnovers. I think, honestly, they're getting a bit lucky with how cold Holy Cross has been from the outside. They've only made 1 3, and they've had a lot of really good looks. So for Lehigh to close this one out in the second half, the offensive execution has to be a bit better. They got to limit the turnovers, and I still like working it into Alvi, even though he's struggled recently. I think he sets the offense up, and just, Ingram's got to keep doing what he's been doing on the defensive end. And maybe Whitlock will get going a little more. As we've mentioned, he's been their star player throughout the course of the year, but he's struggled shooting today a little bit. He's done other things, of course, but yeah, to close this game out, they're gonna need him for sure.
And you kind of get the sense that that's the kind of player Whitlock is, right? As the lights get brighter, as the time gets less on the clock, that's when he really starts showing up, really starts sometimes forcing the action, but forcing the action in a good way, if that makes sense.
He's been so clutch this year. We were talking about it before the broadcast started, but he made a game-tying 3 early in the year against VU, and then he made a game-winning shot with like 1 second left against Colgate in a game they were losing. So yeah, he's been so clutch this year. The whole team has been really clutch this year. We've been really good in close, tight games. So I like our chances if this is close. Because, Whitlock's been so great. Same with Alvi down the stretch, back-to-back 20-point games coming into this one. But yeah, I agree. I think he thrives in big moments for sure. He's not afraid to take a game-winning or a game-tying shot, and he's not afraid to make plays for his teammates if it comes to that.
So as we get ready to jump back in here, besides Whitlock and Alvi, who do you see stepping up in the second half?
I love the way Ingram's been playing. I mean, he's been really good today. I actually think he's been their best player overall with his defense and his shooting. So, yeah, I would say if they leave him to double Alvi or to bring some help towards Whitlock, I'll look for Ingram to knock down some more threes.
All right, here we go with about 25 seconds, about a second differential on the shot clock here for Holy Cross. Seems to be a little confusion on the play here for the Crusaders. And now they've got it sorted out. St. Germain calling the plays. Interestingly, Boston not on the court right now for the Crusaders. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now St. Germain makes his move. Here's Warren. St. Germain wide open three-pointer, and that one's off. But a rebound for the Crusaders. Fadeaway shot doesn't go. Rebound, Vasquez. And that'll do it for the first half here. Score going into the locker rooms. Lehigh 31, Holy Cross 26. We'll be right back after the halftime intermission. Don't go anywhere. This is a good one. and welcome back to Stabler Arena. We are here as the Student Sports Broadcasting Club for Lehigh University, broadcasting live at the Men's Patriot League quarterfinal matchup between Lehigh and Holy Cross. And Jaden, we see the clock running down on halftime. What do you got in 30 seconds for us about the second half?
I would say Lehigh's got to just keep getting it to all the inside. Let's hope Whitlock picks it up shooting-wise in this half. They could really use that. They survived there in the first half with him going 2 of 9 because they played really good defense and Holy Cross missed some looks from the outside. But I think to close this game, they're going to need Whitlock more because I expect Holy Cross to shoot a bit better from 3. And I just don't see Lehigh surviving the second half if Whitlock has another 2 for 9 half. So,
yeah. So if you're Holy Cross, you're saying, hey, we're this close and we shot that bad in the first half. Sure, we have a chance to win. And if you're Lehigh, you're saying our best player has had one of his poor games in recent memory, and yet we're still winning, so we have a chance in this one too. Whatever camp you're in, this should be a good one. Score right now is 31-26 as Lehigh will start with the basketball. Lehigh features their starters of Whitlock, Ingram, Vasquez, Benoit, and Alvey, while Holy Cross has a slightly different than starting lineup with Boston, Richard, Ryan, Warren, and Williams. We are underway here, folks, at Stabler Arena with a half to go to determine who will be in the Patriot League semifinals. Here's Josh Ingram working on DeAndre Williams, driving into the lane, reverses it back to Benoit, thinks about the three-pointer, now drives back in, thinks again about the three-pointer. Here's Whitlock, drives into the lane, pulls up, fadeaway jumper, and that is pure. So exactly what we said Lehigh was looking for. Is it the best percentage look? Of course not, but that's kind of Nasir Whitlock's game. Now Boston working on Vasquez. He'll take the pick and roll, step back. Everyone leaves him alone, and that's a three-pointer, and that one is just as pure as Whitlock on the other end. So both teams' point guards training early buckets in this second half. 33-29, about 19 minutes to go in this second half. Here's Ingram on the elbow. Benoit with the screen, reversed outside to Alvey. Whitlock driving into the lane, flips it back outside to Vasquez. A lot of time, thinks about the three, doesn't take it, and then turns it over trying to get to Alvey in the post. A little too much hesitation there by Lehigh. Boston dribbles right into the lane, and as he was losing control, they're going to call a foul on Lehigh as he gets into the lane there. Should be a, not shooting foul.
Too much hesitation by Vasquez there. He looked like he wanted to shoot it, and then at the last second changed his mind, and it led to a turnover.
Yeah, that's happened a few times today, and that's Boston with an open corner three, and that one is just as pure as the last one was. And so the score is now 33-32. The lead has been trimmed down to 1 in the opening minute of the second half. Lehigh's largest lead of the game was 9. Holy Cross has not led. Lehigh will look to prevent that from happening. Here's Alvey at the top of the key. Ingram on the elbow. Here's Vasquez. Rejects the screen from Alvey, now cuts back, takes it. Not really any penetration there. Here's Whitlock. Dumps it down deep to Alvey. That's easy. And that's 2 points for the big man. So that's the game Lehigh got going early in the first half. Now they return to it early in the second half. We'll see if they can continue with it. Lehigh's lead back up to 3. Here's Boston. Takes the screen. Gets down to the lane. Fadeaway jumper. That's good. So Boston with a quick 8 in this second half. That brings up his total on the game. 14. Sorry. We're looking at Whitlock's numbers. Here's Vasquez. He drives into the lane. Can't get it to go. Now Warren races it down the court. Loses control for a minute. Now here's Boston. So Holy Cross with a chance to take the lead for the first time today. Down by 1. Screen from Ryan. Boston drives right into the lane, into Vasquez. Looked like he picked up his foot. The students certainly think so, but nothing is called. Warren drives and evades 2 defenders, and Brett Reed's going to need a timeout. Only 2.5 minutes into the second half as Holy Cross has taken their first lead of the game. Not a good start for the Mountain Hawks, and we'll be right back after this timeout. So a not so promising start to the second half for Lehigh. Jaden, what have you seen in Holy Cross's quick run to start this half?
Well, they made 1-3 in the first half, and within 2.5 minutes, they've doubled that total. They have 2 threes in the second half. Boston has punted his shot. He was kind of silent in the first half by his standards, but he scored 8 points to bring his total up to 14, and he's helped Holy Cross get the lead. So Lehigh's going to have to respond here as Holy Cross is in a little full court press.
Just thinking about it as they drop back now. Vasquez will bring it across the timeline, gets it to Ingram straight away. On the elbow, Josh Ingram had a good first half on both sides of the basketball. Ingram, though, hasn't really gone anywhere in this possession so far. Shot clock's down to 13 as they dump it down to Albee. And a bit fortunate there to get a foul call as Albee was about to turn the ball over. So that'll be the second foul on Holy Cross this half.
Sure was fortunate. It looked like his foot was like out of bounds as the whistle came in.
Not sure if it's going to be a turnover, a travel, or out of bounds. Now they flip it back to Ingram down low. Doubled, kicks it out to Whitlock. That's an open three. Just a little short on there. Ingram tracks down the rebound, though. Josh Ingram now gets it to Benoit in the post, guarded by DeAndre Williams. The height mismatch. Benoit steps through, elevates, and that's a good look for Edouard Benoit, who had a quiet first half, but gets going there for Lehigh's first bucket in a while in the second half. So Lehigh's lead is restored. Boston will bring it across the timeline. Now throw it down deep for Ryan, who's not marked at all, and that's an easy two for Holy Cross. So a defensive lapse by the Mountain Hawks there.
Great pass there by Boston, too, though. That was awesome pass.
Exactly what you want to see out of your point guard. Now here's Albee, gives it to Benoit again on the left block. Spinning, turning, fades away, and he leaves that one short. Not sure if that was the shot to go for with that much time left in the shot clock. But now here's Boston, guarded by Vasquez, gets the DHO. Now drives back in on Albee. Kicks it out to a wide open Warren, who takes it off the dribble right into the lane and just leaves it short. So unfinished business there from Warren, who had a good look as he drove into the lane, and the lead remains 1 for Holy Cross. Whitlock's pass is a little too high for Albee, and that ball goes out of play. So an erroneous pass there from Lehigh after a fortunate miss by Warren. And the Mount Hawks trail 37-38 to the Crusaders.
Yeah, Warren made a really nice move. He just left it short, and just more sloppiness from Lehigh on the offensive end. Really can't afford that now with Holy Cross starting to pick their own offense up as Lehigh's making a substitution here.
That's Jurasevich coming back into the game with Vasquez going out. So a little bit better shooter than Jurasevich. Didn't really get able to go in the first half. We'll see how he does in the second half. Now Boston working on Whitlock. Always love it when the point guards go after each other. Now Boston, he'll hand it off. Excuse me, not hand it off. And dribbles it all the way out wide to Williams. Williams gets the ball back from Ryan. He'll take a three, and that one's off to the left. That ball's tipped around. Last touch by Whitlock, and he tries to go diving into Holy Cross's bench, but it goes out of bounds, and that's going to lead us to a immediate timeout. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. during that media timeout. What do you see going on with him, and why is Lehigh's star player just not getting going right now?
He's just not had a great first 25 minutes. He's not playing at the level he has the whole year. Sometimes it happens. I mean, I think we've all been there where we've had, off games in various sports or whatever. But the most important thing for him right now is to just try and flush it and try to come back strong. Because if he can play a good 15 minutes here, and if Lehigh walks away with the W, everyone will forget the first 25 as he commits a foul there on a shot attempt. So Boston's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Whitlock just got his hands in the cookie jar a little bit there, so when Boston rose up, it was an easy foul call. So this is Tyler Boston for the Crusaders, who had an excellent start to the second half. And with 15 minutes to go, he has the chance to expand Holy Cross's lead to 3.
Look at that. Almost an 82% free throw shooter this year. Clanks the first one, and the Lehigh student section's getting really loud. I think everyone might get some chicken if he misses this one.
Gotta say, like any student section, they want that chicken. Food ain't free. And Boston quiets the crowd with hitting 1 of 2 from the line. So Holy Cross leads 37-39 as Whitlock will bring it up the court, hounded by Warren as he does so. Now finds Benoit away from the basket. Now here's Alvey top of the key, switches outside to Ingram, finds Benoit, sets up low in the post, dribble falls over as he does so. Not sure what happened there. And now Boston races down the other end, straight at Jurasevich, right to the lane. A lot of contact, misses the shot, and now a late whistle. And the crowd does not like it, but the Holy Cross bench certainly does. So that'll be 2 more shots for Boston at the line with a chance to grow Holy Cross's lead to 4 points. It's worth noting Holy Cross didn't lead at all in the first half and now has a chance to make it a 2-possession game.
They've gotten the offense going. Benoit got the chair pulled from him on our end, which is why he lost it. And then Boston took it really hard at the rim as he makes the first one. It starts on the offensive end, I think, for Lehigh. They really got to get back to what they were doing early on in the game because Holy Cross's offense has come alive here in the first 5 minutes.
Well, and Holy Cross the whole first half and into the second half have just been playing with such a high tempo that they're getting shots no matter what. And even though they were missing them in the first half, they were getting good shots as well. And I think that's coming back to bite Lehigh right now. Is again, they play super slowly here. I'm not sure that's the direction you want to go to because it gives Holy Cross so much time to set up to mark Alvey and Whitlock. But here's Ingram on the elbow. A little give and go with Whitlock. And Ingram is fouled on his way to the basket. Won't be a shooting foul.
Yeah, Williams with the foul there. That's a good attack, though. Ingram had a really good first half. He should look to stay aggressive, especially when, his backcourt teammate is struggling a bit.
And see if we can get some looks to Ingram or maybe Jurasevich, who's back into the game. Whitlock gets it off the inbound, drives right to the lane, and a little push shot is good. No foul call despite Whitlock going down, so the lead is now only 2 for the Crusaders. So Boston will bring it across the timeline, guarded by Whitlock, who just scored that basket. Boston, good blitz there by Alvey. Swings out wide to Williams, working on Jurasevich. Spin move, good move by Williams, and that's an easy 2. Jurasevich looked a little lost out there that time. So Whitlock will now bring it across about 14 minutes to go in this second half. Guarded by Warren, he's got the height advantage over him, but Whitlock slithers and slides into the lane, gets his shot off, and it's good. The Lehigh crowd and coaching staff asking for a foul, but doesn't get one. The score is now 41-43. Both offenses coming alive as Jaden was hoping for. Now here's Boston. He swings it all the way outside to Disa. Disa spins on Benoit, back to Boston. Still guarded by Whitlock. Now he's got Benoit on him. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They get it down to Disa in the post. A mismatch there for Lehigh. Now here's Williams on Jurasevich again. Dancing, shoots, and it's pure. DeAndre Williams picking up the scoring load here, and Jurasevich looks a little lost out there defensively. I wonder if Peter Kramer, who's going to the scorer's table, is checking in for him. Now here's Whitlock sliding back into the lane again, driving right into the defenders, just like he did in the last possession. And this time, instead of a shot, it's a foul called on Holy Cross.
Okay, so Whitlock's gotten it going. A couple really good drives. Another aggressive take there as he created the foul, but Holy Cross is doing a really good job of responding. That was kind of a sick move by two straight moves by Williams. He had the spin cycle on the previous one, and then a nice jumper there.
Yeah, definitely been a nice scoring option for the Crusaders there as Whitlock gets right into the lane, and a little bit of razzle-dazzle, a little bit of English on that one to get it to go. And Whitlock has scored the last 4 points for the Mountain Hawks. Excuse me, 6 points. Now here comes the Crusaders through Boston. Swings it up to the top of the key. Here's Warren. Boston again, guarded by Whitlock, calling out the sets, looking for a screen. Excuse me, gives it to Ryan. Ryan cuts. Here's Disa. Oh, rejected by Benoit from behind. What a play by the sophomore. Totally beaten by Disa and just swats it away. That's getting the student section up onto its feet again. So now Whitlock looking to tie or take the lead for the Mountain Hawks, working on Boston. Not really getting anything going so far. Albee with a screen. Whitlock now into the lane. Free throw. Rises. Fades away. Doesn't go. Rebound jumbled around. Last touch by Holy. Doesn't look like we're going to get one. So Lehigh will retain the basketball with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Look to get another chance to tie or take the lead. Again drives. Again rises. And what a as he ties the game with 5. Again, no foul. Junior. Minnesota. So now we have a tie game, 45-45. It hasn't been tied for a lot today. Boston working on Whitlock. Williams wide open three-pointer just off to the right. And Nasir Whitlock, maybe the smallest man on the court, gets the rebound. So the Mountain Hawks have a chance to retake the lead. Boston in the second half. Whitlock Boston. I wonder what Whitlock wants to do. It's the comes Albee rises up. It's the foul and not. So we'll have to take a break here at the end of 12 media time. Come back. 45. And welcome back to the Stapler Arena. A little under 12 minutes to go here between the Lehigh Mountain Hawks and Holy Cross Crusaders. 45-45. Jaden, what did we just see in those last 5 minutes?
Whitlock's gotten it going. After being 2-9 in the first half, he's 5 of 7 in the second half. So 7 of 16 overall, not a bad percentage. He's up to 17 points, and he's just been attacking. He's been going at Ryan relentlessly, going right into the big guy's chest, bouncing off of him, and finishing some tough shots around the rim. As a good shooter, sometimes you just need to see the ball go in a couple times, and it helps to get really close looks. So maybe if they, back up to try to protect against the drive, look for him to maybe pop some threes. And then he made a really nice pass here to Alvey, and Alvey put up the lefty hook and got hit. So he has 2 free throws to give Lehigh the lead.
And the first one from Alvey is good. And you mentioned Declan Ryan. Now, he doesn't start for the Crusaders, but he's played a lot today in trying to guard Alvey. I feel like that's getting that helps them in guarding the big man, but it's also hurting them. As you said, Whitlock's had a lot of success driving it straight at him.
He has, yeah. I think Ryan's in there to guard Alvey because they saw what happened in the first 4.5 minutes, so he's got an extended time, but Whitlock has feasted on him so far in the second half, as Lehigh has the 2-point lead.
So Lehigh has the lead for the first time in a couple minutes. Now here's Boston working on Kramer. He finds Disa right into the lane, and that was a little too easy for the Crusaders. Alvey looked a little hesitant there, not wanting to stray too far into foul trouble with still 11 minutes to go in this second half. So Whitlock will bring it across the timeline, guarded by Richard. Now he finds Alvey top of the key, guarded by the aforementioned Ryan. Alvey looking for someone to hand the ball off to. That's going to be Peter Kramer, who reverses it right to Alvey, and it goes right through his hands. So another turnover from the Mountain Hawks. That has certainly plagued them in the second half, as it is a 47-47 ball game.
That looked like a pretty bad pass from our vantage point. I'm not sure if Kramer's too used to having to make the pass off the pick and roll. He's more of a spot-up three-point shooter.
Yeah, and you see Vasquez come immediately back into the game now. I wonder if that's a better version of a secondary ball handler for Lehigh. So now Warren kicks it outside to St. Germain, who had a great first half. He goes right at Alvey, and a lot of contact, but no call, went straight up, as Jaden makes clear. There's Alvey now on the offensive end. They're looking to work it down deep, and Vasquez just sails that one to the training staff for the Mountain Hawks. So back-to-back turnovers for the Mountain Hawks, not the way you want to act in a tie quarterfinal ball game, as Boston will bring it across the timeline, guarded by Whitlock. It's a double screen. There's the switch on to Ingram, a good defender in his own right. Had a great first half defensively. So now Boston, now he has Kramer. Second switch on the same possession. Now Disa hands it back off. We're going right at Kramer, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Peter Kramer as Boston was heading out of bounds. So only the fourth team foul on the Mountain Hawks in this second half. So no bonus shots for the Crusaders as Edouard Benoit checks back into the game, taking out Peter Kramer. Benoit's one of those guys, Jaden, I feel like if he can get going, he's kind of the X factor for the Mountain Hawks.
It would definitely be helpful. They gave him a good amount of post touches, and he's had some good moves, a few points here. Oh, whoa, offensive foul. Yeah,
and I think you, me, and just about every student in the student section had the same reaction of, oh, whoa, as Boston with a clear push-off onto Sear Whitlock. He's pleading his case, but I don't think we need replay review to see that one.
He definitely pushed him. Whitlock sold it. I don't think Boston's that strong, but it was a foul. He definitely extended that off arm, I think, but Whitlock did a good acting job for sure to fly back about 5 feet.
So the second offensive foul on Boston here today as Lehigh looks to get into their set. There's Whitlock. He switches course to Vasquez. Again, turns down the three-pointer. Now here's Edouard Benoit working on Warren. Posts him up. Has a little bit of a height advantage here. Benoit looking to get back to his right shoulder, which he does, and a bank shot, and that's good. So Benoit, another post touch, and this time he capitalizes on it. Lehigh now has a 2-point lead, 49-47, under 10 minutes to go in this quarterfinal matchup. Now here's Boston getting into the lane right at Hank Alvey. Now drops right back out. Disa drives in on Alvey. Into the lane, gets Alvey in the air, and it's swatted down, I believe, by Benoit. And Benoit does a little bit of talking to Disa there. So the Montreal native definitely feeling himself a bit in the last couple possessions. A little surprised he didn't get a technical foul there. He was definitely on the border of one. Now here's Nasir Whitlock driving into the lane, fades away, guarded by about 3 people, and that he was not settled on that one. Looking for a foul. I'm not sure I saw enough contact for one. Not the best shot selection as Boston once again goes barreling in. And this time, and another offensive foul. Or no, excuse me, not an offensive.
And one, I think.
And I thought the baseline ref signaled the other way.
I thought it was a weird signal for sure, but I mean, I didn't think it was an offensive foul when
Neither
he
did I.
drove, but it did kind of look like he was signaling for one. But no, really nice move there by Boston. He went right into the contact. It was not really much of a bump. I didn't see who was trying to take the charge, but there definitely wasn't too much contact, and a really nice finish too. So he ties it here with a chance to take the lead.
And the baseline referee certainly made it look like it was an offensive foul, but instead Boston had the chance at the free throw line. And it's good. So Holy Cross retakes the lead 50-49. Lehigh has all of their starters out on the court, with Vasquez bringing it across the timeline, guarded by Warren, who was guarding Whitlock earlier today. Ingram on the elbow drives in. Now here's Vasquez. Again, a hesitant three-point shooter as Ingram drives in and just kind of goes right by Boston. Boston looks at the referee. I'm not really sure for why, as Lehigh takes the lead again 51-50 as they go on the seesaw. So now Boston, guarded by Benoit, gets away from his man a little bit, but reverses course to Disa. Now here's Warren, guarded by Ingram. Warren posts up Ingram. Good deflection there by Ingram, and it's stolen. Here's Whitlock driving down the lane. Guarded by about 4 Holy Cross defenders, and his throwing up shot is blocked out of bounds. So Lehigh will retain possession with 25 seconds left on the shot clock.
He was looking for contact there on that move, but he got the chair pulled from him a bit, and then he threw up a wild attempt that got blocked. But it's okay. Lehigh has the ball back, and they have it on the baseline. They've had some good baseline out of bounds plays here. So let's see what they draw up.
Trying to get it to Ingram, but they'll instead get it to Benoit, who's doubled, and he's now fouled. So certainly a positive outcome from Lehigh there. That is the sixth team foul. Sorry, took the scoreboard operator a minute there. 6th team foul on the Crusaders. So one more out of bounds play here for the Mountain Hawks. See what they draw up. This time trying to get it to Whitlock, which they do. Whitlock now drives in. Rises up, and that one's no good. Hunts for the rebound, can't get it. So lead remains only 1 for the Mountain Hawks. Now here's Boston. Again, getting into the action quickly. Guarded by Ingram this possession, though. Gets a little bit of separation there, and he rises up. And that one is no good, and a really late whistle. The ball had already almost been rebounded by the time the whistle was blown. And the student section doesn't like that one bit.
That was a very late whistle. Boston kind of moved his head up as he shot it, kind of James Harden style, and as he airballed it, the ref called a foul. I want to believe it was a foul because he missed the shot so badly. Maybe he got hit on the elbow or something.
Rattles the first one in. That ties the game at 51. So we have 8 minutes to go here, Jaden. We had a scoring outburst by Whitlock, and he's gone a little bit more cold recently. Does he need to pass the ball a little bit more, or do you trust him to make the right shot here?
Now, I'd trust him. I think they got to get back to getting the Alvey Whitlock pick and roll or a dribble handoff. Get Ryan in the action. Whitlock had a lot of success going at him, so I'd look for that here.
Instead, they're going Ingram with a pick and roll from Alvey. Ingram finds Alvey, now guarded by Boston, now triple team. Finds a cutting Vasquez, and that one's blocked, but the foul. The Holy Cross bench is irate. As we head into the under 8 media timeout. So Lehigh trailing by 1 point to Holy Cross, 7:56 to go. You don't want to go anywhere. This is going to be a barn burner. Welcome back to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. This is the Lehigh Student Sports Broadcasting Club as we commentate on the quarterfinal Patriot League men's basketball matchup between Lehigh and Holy Cross. Holy Cross currently leads 52-51 with Lehigh with 2 shots at the free throw line. Jaden, as we head into these last 8 minutes, what does Lehigh need to do to secure the win?
Whitlock's got to keep remaining aggressive. As I said before, I really like getting Ryan in the pick and roll. He had a lot of success attacking him. And just something to note, heavy minutes for all the Lehigh starters. Ingram's at 31, Whitlock's at 30. There's 8 minutes left, and I assume they'll play the rest of the time as Vasquez ties the game. So let's hope their legs hold up, because it looks like 38 and 39 minutes if they play the rest of the game. So just something to look out for.
I mean, Lehigh is no stranger to overtime this year. They seem to have a tendency to push it towards it. But I agree with you. Outside of Vasquez and Benoit, I don't really see the starters coming out of this game. Maybe Alvey just for a few minutes, but he's played most of the second half. So Boston now brings it across for Holy Cross. He gets another double screen action there, now guarded by Benoit. Disa with a straightaway three-pointer, and that one is good. So a 3 right off the bat for Holy Cross takes their lead to 2 points, 55-53. That was one of those looks they might have missed in the first half, but they've been more efficient in the second. So now here's Benoit curling around to Ingram, top of the key. Trying to find Whitlock, which he does on the elbow. Wants to get it to Alvey. Ryan doing a good job of fronting him off. Benoit thought about the shot from the free throw line, now working on Disa. Doubled, kicks it to Vasquez. This time he takes a 3, and it's just a little bit short. And they're going to say last touch by Benoit, or do they call a foul on him?
They got a foul on him, pushing the back. Yeah, he was trying to be aggressive to get the rebound, and he pushed the Holy Cross player, and we're going to have some free throws now, too.
Yeah, we'll walk 95 feet for Holy Cross to have a chance to expand the lead to 4 points. So not a great couple of possessions after the under 8 media timeout. Peter Kramer now checks back into the game for Vasquez. They've kind of exchanged minutes throughout today between shooting and defense. It was Vasquez missed shot that Benoit fouled on, and Benoit still talking to the referees about it. I'm sure they'll change their mind.
Yeah, Disa at the line now. He just nailed the 3. Makes the front end of the 1-and-1. Only a 29% three-point shooter this year, and just kind of stepped up and drilled a 3 from the top of the key. So got to credit him for the confidence there. Really nice shot.
If you're going to win in March, you need guys like him to make big shots. Disa's second free throw is good as well, as DeAndre Williams will check back in for Holy Cross. Warren will take a seat. With 7:14 left to go in this quarterfinal matchup, Lehigh trailing by 4 points, 57-53. Whitlock will bring it across half court, guarded by Richard. So now Ingram guarded by Williams. Just checked back into the ball game. Whitlock gets a screen from Benoit. Reverses course to Benoit, now guarded by Richard. He was open for a little bit. Now Ingram driving on Williams. A little bit of a height advantage there. Loses possession of the ball from a deflection. Now Whitlock, 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Gonna have to put it up. Rises, tough shot, and it won't go. Rebound corralled by Lehigh and Peter Kramer. Benoit, Whitlock, 3, good! And if you couldn't tell by how loud the student section there was, Lehigh needed that three-pointer. Whitlock cuts the lead down to 1 point, 56-57. Now Boston will set the offense as the crowd gets back into it. Boston guarded by Benoit. Benoit takes a swipe, misses. Boston rises, little short, rebound to Benoit. So now Lehigh, with 6 minutes to go, has a chance to retake the lead, down by 1, 56-57. Whitlock brings it across half court, finds Ingram on the elbow. This time they get it down to Alvey with Ryan on him, deep in the post. Alvey's been a little quiet recently, working, goes to his left shoulder, bank shot, and good! And Lehigh retakes the lead, 58-57, courtesy of Hank Alvey, and that's going to warrant a timeout from Holy Cross. 5:42 left to go in this one, 58-57 Lehigh. This one's coming down for a landing. Don't go anywhere. welcome back to the Lehigh Valley, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The crowd is getting a little more into it. The student section's getting a little bit more into it. Lehigh leads Holy Cross 58 to 57. That was a big shot by Nasir Whitlock. I think you would agree with that one, Jaden.
It was, and it was set up by the offensive rebound by Kramer. That was maybe the play of the game so far, because if he doesn't get that rebound, Holy Cross is still up 4 with the ball after scoring on the previous few possessions. So that could be crucial in the end result here, as Lehigh is now leading.
Indeed they are, as this is Boston. He's had a huge game today. Finds Ryan, mostly there for the defensive side. In on Alvey, gets him in the air, and Ryan makes the easy 2 hook shot. So Holy Cross retakes the lead 59 to 58, courtesy of Declan Ryan. Nasir Whitlock now working on Richard. Finds Alvey, top of the key, dribble handoff for Ingram. Now here's Benoit, guarded by Disa. Finds Whitlock. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. They found Alvey in the post. Working on Ryan. He just got a shot to go last time. Will Holy Cross double? They haven't sent any help yet. And that time, Alvey just a little long on his hook shot. And Holy Cross corrals the rebound. So Holy Cross leading by 1. Here's Boston. Fires a 3. No good. I think the whole Holy Cross bench thought that one was pure. So now Nasir Whitlock will slow the pace down again for the Mountain Hawks and bring it across half court, trailing by 1 point, 4:40 left to go in this quarterfinal matchup. Whitlock, Richard being a little bit physical. I think Whitlock would love a foul as he drives into the lane, and there is that foul. With Richard and Williams draped all over him, they'll give the foul to Richard, and Whitlock will go to the line with a chance to retake the lead. So Whitlock doing exactly what you asked him to do there, Jay, and just pushing the action there on the offensive end.
Aggressive move. Williams came over to help. He drew the contact, and yeah, now he has a chance to retake the lead for Lehigh.
Now, are you surprised, Jaden, that Lehigh has kept Nasir Whitlock on Boston this whole game, as Whitlock misses the first one?
A little bit, I'd say, but not so much, because Lehigh doesn't really have anyone Boston's size. Whitlock's the closest guy. I think Boston's probably the shortest guy on the court. Oh no, he missed both. Wow.
And that one touches everything but the bottom of the net. So an empty possession for Lehigh as Holy Cross continues to lead 59 to 58. Scoring has certainly picked up in the second half. Here's Warren. He had a big night against Lafayette the other day. Now here's Boston, guarded by Whitlock again. Reverses course to Warren, guarded by Kramer. 10 seconds on the shot clock. He'll push the action down into the lane. Gets a foul call and one on Peter Kramer. And so Warren will have a chance to extend the lead for Holy Cross to 2 points at the free throw line.
He's been aggressive. He was very aggressive in the first half. He got to the line 6 times. Hadn't done really anything until that right there. That was a hard take. He finished through 2 guys, got it to go, and now he has a chance to make it a 2-possession game.
Warren's free throw is good. So Holy Cross extends their lead to 4 points, 62 to 58 with 4:11 left to go in this second half. The Holy Cross bench yelling out some kind of instructions for the defense. And that ball is almost stolen away by Disa, but corralled by Whitlock. Now finds Benoit. Holy Cross really trying to run Lehigh off the 3-point line here. Really aggressive coverage. And there you see why they're doing it, as Kramer's pass to Benoit is just a little long. And that's going to lead us to the under 4 media timeout. Holy Cross 62, Lehigh to 58. We'll be right back. right, welcome back to this Patriot League quarterfinal matchup between Lehigh and Holy Cross. Holy Cross holds a 4-point advantage and holds possession of the ball. What needs to change for the Mount Hawks here, Jaden?
Got to get stops. Got to be more efficient on offense. They just had another turnover there, which has hurt them the whole game. And they got to get better looks overall. It's just been a lot of sloppy play, a lot of difficult shots, and Holy Cross has really gotten better looks the whole game, I think. And it's shown in the second half. The first half they were ice cold, but the second half they've scored 36 points after only 26 in the first half. So they've been a lot more efficient in the second half, and we still have 4 minutes to go.
As Warren goes for I'm not even sure what to call it. As he went to try to posterize somebody, he was blocked on the way through, so a big defensive stand for the Mountain Hawks after he had a clear run to the basket. Here's Whitlock now to Ingram into the lane. Good look by Ingram. He can't get it to go, though, and a rebound is controlled by Holy Cross. So an empty possession for the Mountain Hawks, and the lead will remain 4. A good defensive play last time around to deny Warren of the poster. Now here's Boston working on Whitlock. It's a screen from Disa. They like this look, getting the switch on the wall. Not as quick and twitchy as Whitlock on the defensive end. Certainly has the length, though. Boston drives in on him, gets Alvey in the air. No foul called as Alvey reset himself, but a rebound to Ryan because Alvey wasn't there. So now Holy Cross will reset. 15 seconds on the shot clock, leading by 4. 2:45 left to go in the second half. Warren will think he finds Boston. Goes right at Whitlock, and they're going to call a blocking foul. I think that's a good one. I don't think Whitlock was set.
No, I agree with that call. Whitlock tried to draw his third charge of the game, but wasn't there in time, and definitely the right call by the official. Just bad defense there by Lehigh, not being able to box out at the end. Also, I thought Boston got fouled too on the jump shot, but they didn't call it, and then we gave up the offensive rebound.
Yeah, need to be better boxing out there. And Whitlock just needed to move his feet there. I don't think he needed to go for the charge. I think he could have just kept sliding over and gotten Boston away from the basket. But Boston now has a chance to extend the lead to 6 points if he hits these free throws. And the first one rattles home.
Yeah, he's been pretty good today from the free throw line. 81.8% going into this game, and he's been the guy for them in the second half. He's really stepped it up. If he makes this, he'll have 18 here in the second half to lead his team.
She does. About 8 quick ones at the start of the second half, and he's just never slowed down. So Lehigh trailing by 6 points. As the song that was just playing, it is now or never. 2:30 left to go in the second half. Whitlock, he's been the main man all season for the Mountain Hawks. Whitlock driving into the lane. His shot blocked, and the foul is called. No and one opportunity, but Whitlock has a chance to reduce the arrears to only 4 points. So a good job of Whitlock to get into the lane that time.
Was a good job. Needs to focus here. He missed the last 2 at the line. They kind of need these with the offense struggling and Holy Cross getting their offense going. So very, very important free throws here for Lehigh.
First one is nylon. You can't be trading baskets right now if you're the Mount Hawks. You need baskets here and stops on the other end.
They need stops. I'd make Boston give it up to a 3-point shooter.
Whitlock's second one rattles its way through. So it's a 4-point game with 2:29 left to go in this quarterfinal matchup. Coach Reed asking the crowd of alumni and students to get a little bit louder for his defense here. Here's Warren. He had a big night in the play-in game before the quarterfinals. But we all know the ball is going through Boston. Driving into the lane. Here's Ryan. Easy shot, and he misses it. A wide open push shot. And now Lehigh has a chance to reduce the deficit to a 1-score game. 2 minutes to go. Nasir Whitlock, guarded by Warren, working on him. A lot of contact, nothing called. Whitlock gets all the way to the basket for an easy layup. And just like that, the lead that was 6 is now only 2, as Boston comes over for a timeout. And they roar here in the Staples Center. The score is 64-62. Jaden, I don't think we want to leave this one.
No, it's kind of a close game like we expected. what happened there was Boston made a great play. Ryan had about a 5-foot look with no one around him, and he missed it. When I said I wanted Boston to give it up, I didn't mean for a shot like that. I was hoping that, we'd bring some help and then he'd kick it to a three-point shooter who would take like a semi-open look. But Ryan completely missed that shot. Whitlock drove hard here, got by his guy, and there's no help defense in the paint, so he had his easiest 2 points of the night, was able to make the 2 free throws before that, so 4 in a row for him to cut it to 2, and now they need the crucial stop, another crucial stop. Boston's gonna have it, and I bet he'll look to shoot this one because of what happened the last possession, but again, I would bring a lot of help inside. I would make him give it up. He's had the hot hands. Make one of these other guys beat you with like a semi-open three-point look. Remember, Holy Cross only shoots 32% from 3 on the season, and it's been a lot worse today, especially from guys not named Tyler Boston. So I'd make him give it up to pretty much anyone else beyond the arc.
I'm not sure Richard has taken a shot for Holy Cross in the past 20 minutes. And Warren, too, the guy who had a big night against Lafayette and Lehigh previously, hasn't been too loud as well. We'll see if anyone but Boston takes the shot as they inbound it easily to Boston. Guarded by Whitlock. He'll take his time this time. Finds Ryan top of the key. Ryan's got an extended run for his defense. Boston penetrating, working on Whitlock right to the hole. His shot, no good. Rebound, alive, and it's controlled by Peter Kramer, who checked back into the ball game. So Lehigh down by 2, a minute 20 to go in the second half. Has a chance to tie or take the lead. The ball is in the hands of Josh Ingram on the elbow, looking to get to Albee in the post. He gets it there. Working down low. Albee, he started the game hot, gets to the rim, and he gets the roll! Hank Albee, continuing his strong season, gets another basket to go here at Stable Arena as we go into a minute left to go in this playoff game. Here comes Boston into the lane. He stops. Everyone asks for a travel. It's not given. Warren now working on Ingram. Loses possession. They say deflection. No backcourt. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Warren pushes the action into the lane. Won't go. Rebound controlled by Warren. And it'll be calmed down by who else but Tyler Boston, and they'll take time out. 36 and 4/10 on the clock, 16 on the shot clock. Jaden, did we forget to box out again?
It looks like it. That was a crazy possession. Honestly, I'm not sure what the fans are booing about. He did not travel, even though it looked a little funny. He definitely kept his pivot foot down. Warren had a good look after the ball got poked away to the backcourt area. He just missed it, and yeah, we couldn't corral the rebounds. The good news is, though, that each team is going to have one possession. Stop. We'll have a chance to win the game, or of course go to overtime if we miss. But you got to get the stop. Boston attacked hard there, but was shut off well. And then they looked elsewhere. Warren missed the shot. Again, I like anybody else taking it besides Boston for us Lehigh fans. So definitely help a lot inside. If he sprays it out for like a wing 3 and someone makes a good shot, okay, that's all right.
Now, are you surprised Holy Cross took a timeout there? They had 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Is that the right call?
I love the call. I love the call. They've struggled on offense in the last couple minutes, so I really like the call. They didn't have anything really there. They just had the ball at the top of the key. So I like the coach drawing something up. I'm sure he's going to put his best guys in a position here to make a good play. And yeah, I love the call by Holy Cross to call that timeout.
All right, so both teams will retake the court. Lehigh with their starters, except for Peter Kramer back onto the court in place of Vasquez. 36 and 4/10 on the clock, 16 on the shot clock. They give it into who else but Tyler Boston. Guarded by Whitlock, top of the key, shot clock down to 10 seconds. Here comes the screen. Does not go for him. Now Warren, top of the key. He makes his move on Ingram. Albee drops back. Warren, 3 seconds on the clock. He's got to shoot it. He does, and he hits it. Holy Cross takes a 2-point lead with 21.3 left on the clock Tyler Warren, the man we said he had a big night last time. He had a big night last time he played Lehigh as well, and he finally comes up big here.
He did come up big. He had the N1 a little while ago, and that was a nice move into the lane. We let him get way too close there. He took about a 6-foot shot. He crossed left to right, dribbled right, pulled up, knocked it down. Huge shot. Boston was shut off. I think they were trying to get a little pick and roll with him, but there's no contact on the screen. So Warren was the second option, and yeah, he made a great play. So Lehigh now down 2. I think we know who's going to have the ball in his hands.
I think so too. Nasir Whitlock, he's hit the big shot all year. He's hit the buzzer beaters. He's hit the tying shots. You got to imagine it's going to him, but just the other possession, they went to Hank Alvey down to the post instead. Is that an option?
It is, but I think they'll go to Whitlock. So what you do here now, since you're down 2 with 21.3 seconds, you try to go semi-quick, because if you miss it, you want a chance to foul and potentially get another chance to tie. Interestingly, in a similar spot earlier in the year when Lehigh was down 1, with about this much time, they kind of held it for the final shot, and Whitlock drilled a long mid-range, but I bet they'll go quicker this time because they're down 2.
Whitlock's been going slow all day. He brings it up at a kind of a moderate pace here. Gets into the action in about 15 seconds. He'll drive into the lane. Gets a good look at the rim, and he nails it.
There it is. Yep.
So it's a tie game, 66 to 66. Coach Reed's going to call timeout to set his defense. Do you like that call by Coach Reed?
That was great. Quick isolation for your best player. He drove right by his guy and was able to, again, a very easy finish. There's no help defense there, which is interesting. That's kind of why you go quick, because if you go quick and the other team's up 2, sometimes the teams are afraid of the 3. So they won't help as much. I've seen it so much in the NBA where teams are just afraid of giving up that game-winning 3. So they'll be hesitant to help, and if you blow by your guy, you have an easy layup, and that's what happened there. Great play by Whitlock, great call by Coach Reed, and we have a tie ball game. So Lehigh's going to need a stop here to send this one to overtime.
All right, so we just saw Warren hit a big shot for Holy Cross, but the ball's going back to Tyler Boston, right? There's no one else who's going to take the shot, right?
Well, I don't know, actually. The ball's going to start in Boston's hands because they got to go the length of the court, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did something similar, if they have Boston bring it up and then they have Warren come off a pin down and have him attack right. I don't know, though. We'll see. I mean, Boston's been the guy throughout the second half, but Warren's been the guy in the last couple minutes. So they can go either way, and I think Warren's their best slasher, too, and they only need 2. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
This game was billed as an exciting one. We all knew Holy Cross, they were a 10 seed coming into it, but they play a lot better than a 10 seed. Lehigh, they've been the clutch team all year. How do you know when your luck's running out, or how do you know you're the team of destiny? Well, you find out in moments like this. 11.2 seconds remaining. Shot clock unplugged. Holy Cross needs to go 95 feet to try to get a winner here, or we need to go to overtime and get some free basketball. The inbound to who else but Tyler Boston. He brings it across half court with 8 seconds to go. Guarded by Whitlock, gets into the action. Boston drives into the lane. Oh, he loses it, and that's going to be Lehigh ball.
Okay, so there they had Boston bring it up. Warren actually came off a pin down, but they also had a pick and roll set up for Boston. He came around the pick, then swirled back to the left and just kind of fell and lost the ball. So Lehigh has 2.1 seconds now.
No timeouts for the Mountain Hawks. Ingram will inbound. He gives it to Whitlock. 1 second on the clock from half court. Oh my God! Nasir Whitlock! That's March encapsulated! And the students stream onto the court. They mob Whitlock. They mob the leader. They mob the captain. Nasir Whitlock, all of 40 feet to win the game, to win the quarterfinal matchup for the Mountain Hawks. Jaden, I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, I'm watching the replay. From here, it looked good the whole way, but you never know because it's such a long shot. It could be short, it could be long. I said that the best case scenario was go to overtime, but I was way wrong. That's unbelievable. He took it from beyond half court. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
We were talking before the game. You know, is Lehigh the team of destiny or they have just got lucky? I think they were both right there. They were the team of destiny, but you don't do that without a little bit of luck.
For sure. They had some really good hustle plays down the stretch. We highlighted the offensive rebound by Kramer, which was big. But that was incredible. I mean, I'm just at a loss for words. They were down 2 points with 21 seconds left. And you think best case scenario, you get it to overtime in that spot. And there were only 2.1 seconds left, and they had to go the length of the court. Honestly, I'm surprised he got such a clean look. Holy Cross had no interest in guarding him. There was only 2 seconds left, and they let him, I know it was a far look, but they let him get an open look. I can't believe it there, actually. That's probably, I mean, amazing shot, but that's the shocking thing of that play, that no one on Holy Cross was even guarding him. There's only 2 seconds. I get it if there's 5 or 6 and you don't want him to blow by you, but there's just no time to get any closer. So you might as well get up and contest it. What a scene here on the Lehigh court as the student section's on the court, kind of mobbing the players a little bit. Just what an amazing finish. What another amazing comeback. 64-58 with just over 2 minutes left. Finished the game on an 11-2 run to book her spot in the semifinals of the Patriot League tournament.
And of course, it was Nasir Whitlock. I mean, this is the man who's been the guy throughout the entire year. He scored, I think, 17 points against Houston. They're number 4 ranked in the country, number 5 ranked in the country, excuse me, known for their defense, and Nasir Whitlock was giving it to them. So, of course, here tonight, not only was it the buzzer beater by Whitlock, but like you said, they were down 6 points with only a little bit over 2 minutes to go, and it was just Whitlock, Whitlock, Whitlock. He just couldn't be stopped on the offensive end.
He had 9 points in like the last 2.5 minutes. We said it, you know, before the broadcast that he had hit a lot of clutch shots this year. Lehigh's record could easily be like 8-9 or even 7-11. If it wasn't for him and all the huge shots he's hit, but that was crazy. That tops everything that he's done this year. That's 3 game-tying or game-winning shots at the end of games for him this year, which is insane. I mean, the season's not that long. That's like 10% of the games he's hitting a shot to tie it or a shot to win it at the very end.
Now, here's the important question for you, Jaden. Where on the Sports Center top 10?
It's got to be up there. What do we even have now? We have like tennis going on a little bit. I guess I don't know. I mean, if there's a buzzer beater in the NBA today, that'll be higher, but it's got to be top 3, right?
I mean, if it's not top 3, I mean, if it's not top 1, I might be at calling it the show tomorrow morning, asking where it is.
It's got to be up there. Someone's got to tweet it at Sports Center.
Tag us as well. Tag us, please. You know, Jaden and I were supposed to be down in courtside, but we were unfortunately not able to do that today. But I think that gave us a better view of the buzzer beater.
It did. Again, as I said, it looked good the whole way. But when the shot is so far, it could be an air ball short or it could hit off the top of the backboard. But I don't know. He must practice that shot because it didn't even touch the rim.
As we see just a outpouring of emotion from Coach Brett Reed. He hasn't been back to March Madness since, of course, that famous upset against Duke with C.J. McCollum. Now, of course, Nasir Whitlock is not C.J. McCollum, but you feel that similar energy about this team of just a team that refuses to die and a leader on the court who always makes sure they win.
Yeah, that year Lehigh made it to March Madness with CJ. They had some close games in the Patriot League tournament. Funny enough, I think if I remember correctly, in the semifinal game, or maybe it was the final, we played Holy Cross, and it was a really close game down the stretch. I remember watching it when I was pretty little, and then obviously the amazing performance against Duke. So, you know, anything's possible. 2 seed in the Patriot League this year for a reason. Super clutch the whole year, and just add this one to the list of comebacks and list of close wins for this resilient Mountain Hawk team that, again, was not really expected to be a top 2 team in the Patriot League coming into this season, but has just been so clutch and has fought so hard in these close games.
And as we look forward to the future, of course, the season is not over for these Mountain Hawks. They'll be taking on Colgate in the next round, who defeated Loyola Maryland 90-77 today. Of course, Colgate's the team that's been kind of the cream of the crop in the Patriot League for a couple of years. They defeated Lehigh in the Patriot League championship game 2 years ago to deny the Mountain Hawks a chance to go back to March Madness. And with that in mind, we're going to be looking forward to that game. We're going to be looking forward to another home game for the Mountain Hawks as they look to take one more step to the big dance, to go dancing in March. Jaden, it's been a pleasure today. I'm sorry we didn't do this sooner, but I think that was a good one to hit it off on. My name is Jackson Cramp. This is my partner, Jaden. I've still forgot his last name.
Yohai.
Yohai, yep. And this is the Lehigh Student Sports Broadcasting Club. We'll be signing off. Go Mountain Hawks.
Peace, guys.